Energy shapes destiny. Energy bends worlds. Energy decides whether doors remain shut or open like gates of light before you. You have been taught to chase results, but few have told you the ancient truth. Results are not born of effort alone. They are born of energy, the invisible current that governs all wealth, all attraction, all creation. What you hold, what you attract, what clings to you like shadow or radiance, it is energy. And if you master it, you master life itself. Stay with me, for what you are about to hear is not philosophy. It is initiation. It is a passage into the secret law that the ancients whispered in temples, a law that still governs the invisible fabric of your reality. This is Energy Master, and it will awaken the hidden power within you. Chapter 1. The Hidden Current. You have always felt it, though perhaps you could not name it. A presence beneath the surface of your life. A rhythm, subtle yet undeniable, threading through every event, every encounter, every fortune gained and fortune lost. This presence is energy. Not the energy of calories or electricity, but the energy of essence. The hidden current that weaves through the soul and out into the fabric of reality. It is here, in this invisible river, that destiny is written. Pause now and feel it. Notice the atmosphere around you. Notice the field of your own being. Your heart is not only pumping blood, it is radiating frequency. Your mind is not only thinking, it is broadcasting signal. Your emotions are not only fleeting feelings, they are shaping tides in the unseen world. The sages of Egypt called it Ka. The mystics of India named it prana. The prophets spoke of it as ruach, the breath of life. Modern science whispers of it in vibrations and fields. But the truth is older than language. Everything is energy, and energy responds to energy. Consider this. Two people enter a room. One is restless, insecure, desperate to be liked. The other moves with calm assurance, needing no approval, radiating presence. Both may say the same words. Both may wear the same suit. Both may carry the same resume. But the world bends differently for each. One is ignored. One is remembered. One leaves invisible doors unopened. The other finds them swinging wide. What separates them? It is not chance. It is energy. You see, the universe does not reward effort without alignment. You can work yourself to exhaustion, chase every opportunity, knock on every door, yet if your energy is off, you repel what you seek. On the other hand, align your vibration, and without strain, things begin to appear. Phone calls come, ideas arrive, people are drawn. This is the hidden current. And most spend their lives swimming against it, wondering why the river feels like stone. Let me tell you a story. There was once a merchant in a desert land, carrying his goods across the sands. Every journey he struggled. His camels would fall sick, his goods would spoil. His rivals would prosper while he barely survived. One evening, exhausted and bitter, he collapsed by a fire and whispered, "Why does fortune never favor me?" An old wanderer appeared, clothed in rags yet glowing with peace. He asked the merchant, "What energy do you carry on your journeys?" The merchant scoffed. "Energy? I carry dates and spices, nothing more." The wanderer smiled. "When you walk, your thoughts walk with you. When you speak, your emotions speak louder than words. When you trade, your spirit bargains more than your coins. You do not trade dates, you trade despair. You do not sell spices, you sell scarcity. And so fortune avoids you." The merchant wept, for he saw the truth. He had been moving in bitterness, in doubt, in lack, And though his bags were full, his energy was empty. The next day he chose differently. He carried gratitude. He walked with assurance. He spoke with generosity. And soon people felt it. They trusted him. They bought more. His journeys became easier. The same deserts, the same camels, the same goods, but a different energy. And with different energy, a different destiny. This is the lesson. You are not living circumstances. You are living energy expressed as circumstances. Change the current, and the scenery must follow. Close your eyes, even now, and notice your energy. Do not judge it. Observe it. Is it tense? Is it doubtful? Is it scattered? Or is it calm, radiant, flowing like a river of gold? This awareness is the first key of mastery. Energy cannot be transformed if it is not felt. Now, let us look deeper. Energy mastery begins with 3 realms: thought, feeling, and state. Thought is the spark. Feeling is the fire. State is the field that expands outward, shaping what reality reflects. Many try to master thoughts alone, reciting affirmations without emotion, as if words could mask their inner vibration. But the universe does not listen to words. It listens to the frequency behind them. Think of it like music. You can play the notes correctly, but if the instrument is out of tune, the melody will sound harsh. Align the instrument, and suddenly the same notes sing with beauty. Your life is no different. Your affirmations, your prayers, your desires, they must be carried by energy aligned, or they fall flat. Do you see now why some prayers are answered swiftly, while others echo unanswered for years? It is not that heaven is cruel. It is that heaven is precise. It mirrors the energy, not the words. You may ask, how then do I begin to master this current? And I will tell you, by practicing the art of energetic awareness, then energetic choice. Awareness means catching yourself in the moment, feeling when you are sinking into lack, fear, or desperation. Choice means shifting deliberately, breathing, imagining, stepping into the state of abundance before the evidence arrives. When you do this, you step out of the cycle of reaction and into the throne of creation. You stop being a leaf tossed by the wind and become the wind itself. And here is the sacred practice for this chapter. The next time you desire something, wealth, opportunity, love, pause. Do not chase. Do not beg. Do not ask. Instead, close your eyes. Breathe deeply. And imagine that desire as already yours. Let your body feel the relief, the gratitude, the joy of it fulfilled. Hold it for 60 seconds, not in words, but in energy. That minute of mastery will shift more in your reality than hours of desperate effort. For you are not chasing outcomes. You are mastering currents. And when the current aligns, the river of life carries you swiftly where once you crawled. Remember this: energy is the hidden current beneath everything. Master it, and you master destiny. Chapter 2. The Mirror of Energy. The universe is not listening to what you say. It is reflecting what you are. This truth is both liberating and unsettling. Liberating because it means you are not bound by fate or by the whims of the world. Unsettling because it means nothing is hidden. Your secret doubts, your quiet despair, your unspoken fears, they all radiate outward, mirrored back in circumstances. Energy is the mirror. Life is the reflection. Think of a pond on a still morning. When the water is calm, it reflects the sky perfectly. Clouds, sun, even the flight of a bird across the horizon. But if the water is disturbed, if ripples scatter across its surface, the reflection is broken. The sky is still above, but the image in the pond is distorted. Your mind, your emotions, your energy field, these are the waters of your reality. If they are restless, the reflection will be chaotic. If they are aligned, the reflection will be clear. Pause here and let this sink in. Every financial struggle, every broken relationship, every delay you experience is not random. It is the reflection of your energy state. This is why two people in the same city, with the same economy, the same opportunities, live radically different lives. One drowns in scarcity, the other swims in abundance. The difference is not external, it is energetic. Do not mistake me. This is not about blame, it is about awakening. To see reality as a mirror is to claim your power. For if the mirror reflects chaos, you need not attack the reflection. You need only calm the water. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young woman named Alina who dreamed of becoming a musician. She had the voice of an angel, yet every audition ended in rejection. Every door seemed locked. One evening she met an old piano teacher who watched her rehearse. After listening in silence, he said, "Your voice is flawless, but your energy trembles. You sing from fear, not from certainty. You offer beauty, but your vibration whispers unworthiness. The world hears that more than your notes." Alina was stunned. She had never thought of it this way. She practiced harder, but the old teacher shook his head. "Not harder, different. Before you sing, step into the energy of being chosen. Feel the certainty as if the door is already open. Sing not to prove yourself, but to share what already belongs to you." She tried it. She closed her eyes, breathed deeply, and imagined herself on stage, the crowd already in awe. She felt the joy of it, the inevitability of it. And when she sang again, everything changed. Her voice carried not only sound, but soul. Within weeks, opportunities arrived, not because her technique had shifted, but because her energy had. This is the mirror of energy. It reflects what you radiate, not what you rehearse. Consider your own life. What does the mirror reveal? Look at your finances. They show you your relationship with abundance. Look at your relationships. They show you your vibration of worthiness. Look at your health. It reflects your inner harmony or inner conflict. Some recoil at this idea, wishing the mirror were kinder. But the mirror is already merciful. It shows you exactly where your energy needs alignment. It gives you feedback again and again until you shift, and here lies the secret. Do not fight the reflection. Shift the radiance. If the mirror shows lack, flood yourself with abundance. If the mirror shows loneliness, embody connection. If the mirror shows fear, radiate courage. The reflection cannot resist. Now, let us go deeper into the mechanics. Energy mirrors operate through resonance. Resonance means like attracts like. It is the same law that makes a tuning fork vibrate when another tuning fork of the same pitch is struck. It is the same law that draws people together who share moods, beliefs, and states. Your energy field is a tuning fork. When you vibrate scarcity, you resonate with scarcity. When you vibrate wealth, wealth resonates back. You are not pulling things to you, you are resonating with them. And this is why gratitude is so powerful. Gratitude shifts your energy immediately. When you practice gratitude, even for the smallest things, a breath, a cup of water, a sunrise, you align with abundance. You begin vibrating in wealth, not in lack. And soon the mirror responds. Likewise, Fear is corrosive because it anchors you in lack. Fear says, "What I want is far from me." Gratitude says, "What I want is already flowing to me." The mirror obeys. There is an ancient Hermetic teaching, "As within, so without." It is not metaphor, it is law. The universe does not impose, it reflects. But here is where most falter. They wait for the reflection to change before they shift their energy. They say, "When I get the job, then I will feel confident. When I meet the partner, then I will feel loved. When I have money, then I will feel abundant." But the mirror does not work this way. It cannot show you a new reflection until you embody the new state. You must feel wealthy before wealth arrives. You must feel loved before love enters. You must feel powerful before power expands. This is not pretending, it is aligning. Imagine walking into a hall of mirrors. If you scowl, the reflections scowl back. If you smile, they smile. If you dance, they dance. No reflection moves until you move first. Life is that hall of mirrors. You set the vibration. Reality reflects it. Let us turn this into practice. Sacred practice of the mirror. Tonight, before sleep, sit quietly with a candle or in darkness. Reflect on one area of life where the mirror has shown you lack. Instead of resisting, close your eyes and step into the opposite vibration. If finances show scarcity, imagine the energy of abundance filling your chest. If loneliness echoes, imagine connection wrapping around you like warmth. Do not beg, do not ask. Radiate. Flood the mirror with a new signal. Hold it, breathe it, fall asleep in it. Repeat this night after night. The mirror will shift, not because you forced it, but because you reflected a different light. Remember, life is the mirror. You are the radiance. Master the radiance, and the mirror cannot disobey. Chapter 3. The Frequency of Wealth. Wealth is not numbers on a screen. It is not coins, nor contracts, nor digits in a bank vault. Wealth is frequency, and like all frequencies, it must be tuned, felt, and sustained before it manifests in form. You may think that money comes from hard work, from chance, from connections. But beneath these surface explanations lies the deeper law. Money is drawn to energy that matches its frequency. This is why some toil endlessly and never prosper, while others move with ease and attract opportunities as if the universe itself bends toward them. The world calls it luck. The wise call it resonance. Close your eyes now and imagine a great harp stretched across the cosmos. Each string vibrates with a different frequency: love, health, creativity, wealth. You, too, are a string upon this harp. When you are in tune, the song of wealth resounds, and money flows like notes of music joining your chord. When you are out of tune, no matter how you pluck, the sound is harsh, and the melody of prosperity cannot harmonize with you. This is why the poor often remain poor, and the wealthy grow wealthier. It is not injustice of fate. It is frequency in motion. Poverty vibrates in lack, fear, and unworthiness. Wealth vibrates in ease, trust, and sufficiency, and the universe, being a perfect mirror, must reflect what is broadcast. Let me tell you a story. There was once a farmer who lived in constant scarcity. His land was fertile, but he always feared the harvest would fail. His barns were stocked, but he always feared they would empty. His neighbors noticed that no matter how much he gained, he always complained of lack. One day an elder approached him and said, "Your fields are abundant, but your energy is barren. You water the soil, but you starve your vibration. You fear loss, so you reap loss." Wealth cannot remain where it is treated as a fleeing shadow. You must treat it as a loyal companion, trust it, and it will stay. The farmer resisted, but in desperation he tried. Each morning, instead of muttering his fears, he walked through his fields and gave thanks, not for what might come, but for what already was. He spoke aloud to his crops, to his barns, to his animals, as if they were treasures beyond measure. Slowly, something shifted. His fields grew fuller. His barns seemed to overflow. But more than that, his heart changed. For the first time, he felt wealthy, and as he felt it, his reality confirmed it. This is the sacred key. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. And wealth is not something you chase. It is something you embody. Think of it as a radio station. If you tune to scarcity, you hear static, missed opportunities, dead ends. If you tune to wealth, the music of abundance plays clear and opportunities flow effortlessly. The station is always broadcasting. The question is, which dial are you turned to? Now, let us explore the anatomy of the wealth frequency. It is composed of 3 vibrations: sufficiency, generosity, and trust. Sufficiency is the vibration of I am enough. Not, I will be enough when I have more, but I am enough now. This vibration dissolves desperation. It tells the universe, I already live in abundance, and so abundance continues to meet me. And generosity is the vibration of flow. When you give freely, not recklessly, but joyfully, you prove to yourself and to the universe that you trust the endless current. Money, like water, stagnates when hoarded, but multiplies when circulated. Trust is the vibration of surrender. It is not passive waiting, but active knowing. Trust is what keeps you aligned when evidence has not yet arrived. It is the inner posture of certainty, the energetic stance that says, it is done. Together, these 3 create the wealth frequency, and when they harmonize within you, life cannot resist reflecting it. But here lies the paradox. Most people seek wealth to feel sufficiency, to feel safe, to feel generous. They wait for the money to change the energy. Yet the mirror does not bend this way. The energy must change first. Let me share another parable. In a bustling city lived a tailor named Omar. He worked from dawn until midnight, stitching garments for pennies, always behind on rent, always anxious. One evening he collapsed at his table, whispering, "When will abundance find me?" A traveler entered his shop, weary but kind, and said, "Abundance does not find you. You find its frequency. You wear the garment of lack, and so life mirrors lack. Change the garment, and the mirror will change." Omar asked, "How do I change what I do not yet have?" The traveler smiled. "Begin in small ways. With each stitch, whisper gratitude. With each coin you earn, treat it as treasure. With each meal, savor as if feasting. Let your energy dress in abundance, and soon your life will wear the same." Omar tried. He stopped cursing his work and began blessing it. He stopped despising small coins and began honoring them. He stopped longing for more and began living as though he already carried enough. Months later, his reputation grew. Wealthy clients arrived. His shop flourished. But more than the gold, Omar had mastered the true secret. Wealth begins as energy worn from within. So I ask you now, what garment do you wear? Are you clothed in scarcity or in sufficiency? Are you wrapped in fear or in trust? The universe does not negotiate, it reflects. And here, I give you the sacred practice of wealth frequency. Each morning when you wake, before touching your phone, before speaking a word, place your hand over your heart and speak aloud. I am wealthy. I live in sufficiency. Money flows to me with ease. I circulate it with joy. I trust the endless current. Do not recite it like empty words. Feel it. Imagine light filling your chest, golden and radiant, expanding outward like a sundae. See yourself walking into the day wrapped in this frequency. And then act as one who trusts abundance. Do not grasp, do not beg. Move with calm assurance. For wealth is not waiting for you in some distant future. It is waiting for you to tune to its station now. And once you do, you will see it everywhere. In the kindness of strangers, in the flow of opportunities, in the coins that multiply when honored, in the doors that open when you knock with certainty. Wealth is not the result, it is the resonance. And once you master its frequency, the world itself must harmonize. Chapter 4. The Law of Circulation. Nothing in the universe is stagnant. Every star breathes. Every tide rises and falls. Every tree exhales what another inhales. So too with wealth, with power, with energy. Energy must circulate. It must move, expand, return. And when you try to grasp it too tightly, to hoard it, to clutch it in fear, it slips from your hands like water in a clenched fist. This is why money flows freely to some and dries up for others. Those who treat wealth as flow live in endless circulation. Those who treat it as possession live in endless loss. Pause and reflect. How often have you clung in fear to what little you had? How often have you said, I cannot give, I cannot spend, I cannot trust, for what if it never returns? And yet, notice what happens when fear governs. The river narrows, the opportunities shrink, the flow diminishes. The law of circulation is precise. What you withhold from life, life withholds from you. What you release in trust, life multiplies and returns. Let me tell you a story. There was once a wealthy nobleman who buried his gold beneath the floor of his house, too afraid to spend, too afraid to invest, too afraid to share. At least it is safe, he told himself. But as the years passed, his home crumbled, his health failed, his servants abandoned him, and the gold beneath the floor remained untouched, lifeless. In the same village lived a poor woman with little more than bread and oil. Yet whenever a traveler passed, she would share what she had. What I give returns multiplied, she would whisper, and somehow her table was never empty. Neighbors brought her food. Strangers blessed her with gifts. What she released flowed back tenfold. The nobleman died with his hoarded gold rotting in the earth. The poor woman lived surrounded by endless provision. And so it is. Wealth that is hoarded becomes prison. Wealth that is circulated becomes current. Think of blood in the body. If it stops flowing, disease sets in. If it circulates, health thrives. Energy is the same. Money is the same. Do not misunderstand. This does not mean reckless spending or blind giving. It means conscious circulation, moving energy with trust, with joy, with intention. When you circulate money, you affirm abundance. When you circulate love, you multiply love. When you circulate generosity, the universe rushes to keep your river full. Have you ever noticed that the wealthiest often give the most? Not only because they can, but because they understand the law. Circulation sustains the current. They invest, they share, they release, and wealth grows around them like oxygen. Now, contrast this with the energy of desperation. Desperation clings. Desperation hoards. Desperation shuts the hand. and a closed hand cannot receive. Perhaps you have lived this, holding too tightly to money, to opportunities, even to relationships. And what happens? The tighter you hold, the quicker they slip. This is not punishment. It is circulation correcting itself. The universe refuses stagnation. Let us make this practical. The next time money comes into your hands, whether great or small, pause, breathe. Instead of clinging, ask, how can I circulate this in alignment with abundance? Perhaps you give a portion to someone in need. Perhaps you invest it in growth. Perhaps you simply spend it joyfully, trusting that more will return. The act itself is less important than the energy behind it. For circulation is not measured in dollars, but in vibration. A single coin given in trust circulates more energy than 1,000,000 hoarded in fear. Consider another story. In a coastal town, 2 fishermen cast their nets. One caught little and hoarded every fish, always afraid tomorrow would bring an empty sea. He sold harshly, gave nothing away, lived in constant dread. The other fisherman, though his catch was small, always shared with neighbors. He gave fish to the hungry, helped widows, trusted the ocean. Years later, the fearful fisherman was sick, bitter, abandoned, his nets empty. The generous fisherman had grown wealthy beyond measure, not only in coins, but in community, in health, in joy. The sea seemed to bless him endlessly. What was the difference? Not effort, not luck, circulation. Energy loves to move. It expands through those who release it. And so I ask you, where in your life have you been hoarding? Where have you dammed the river instead of letting it flow? Is it money? Is it love? Is it trust? And can you begin today to let it circulate? Here lies the paradox. When you fear loss and hoard, you confirm scarcity. When you release and trust, you confirm abundance. The mirror obeys. Remember this teaching. Circulation is not loss, it is multiplication. Like seeds cast into soil, what you release in trust returns in harvest. But only if you release. Seeds locked in a jar never multiply. Now let us enter the sacred practice of circulation. Tonight, take one small act of conscious release. It may be giving a coin to a stranger, offering gratitude to someone unthanked, releasing fear with a breath. Do it not in obligation, but in joy. Whisper as you release, "This multiplies, this circulates, this returns to me in abundance." Repeat daily. Make circulation your way of life. And watch as the river of energy begins to move freely, carrying you into currents of wealth, love, and ease you once thought impossible. For this is the law. Energy is not meant to be stored, it is meant to flow, and the one who trusts the flow becomes the master of it. Chapter 5. The Throne of Stillness. There is a secret doorway into mastery, hidden not in effort, nor in striving, nor in endless struggle. It is the doorway of stillness. For energy is not mastered in chaos. Energy is not commanded in noise. Energy bends to the one who sits upon the throne of inner calm, unmoved, unshaken, radiant with quiet certainty. Listen closely. Every storm you face, every fear that arises, every obstacle that towers before you, all of it is meant to test whether you will collapse into chaos or rise into stillness. For the one who holds stillness holds the scepter of creation. Picture this, a lake at dawn. If the waters are turbulent, the reflection is shattered. But when the waters are still, they reflect the heavens perfectly. So too with your soul. When restless, you distort reality. When still, you mirror the divine. Most of the world lives in turbulence. They rush, they strive, they panic, they react. They think this is power, but it is weakness. For in reacting, they become slaves to circumstance. In stillness, you become master of circumstance. Let me tell you a story. In a kingdom long forgotten, there was a young prince destined to inherit the throne, but his father, the old king, gave him a test. He said, "You may not sit upon this throne until you can remain still in the midst of storms." The prince was confused. "How can stillness conquer storms?" he asked. The king only smiled. And so the prince was tested. Servants insulted him. Generals betrayed him. Crops failed. Enemies rose, and famine stalked the land. Each time, the prince reacted with rage, with fear, with despair. Each time, the throne remained forbidden. Years passed. Finally, one evening, weary of striving, the prince sat in silence. He did not react. He did not rage. He did not collapse. He simply breathed. In that breath, he discovered a strength deeper than swords, the strength of stillness. The next morning, the king led him to the throne and said, "Now you may sit, for storms obey the one who does not become them. This is the throne of stillness, and it is waiting for you. Understand this. Stillness is not emptiness. It is power condensed. It is presence gathered. It is the inner posture that radiates certainty into the unseen." Have you noticed how some people, without shouting, without striving, carry authority the moment they walk into a room? Their voice is calm, their energy steady, their presence undeniable. This is stillness, and reality bends to it. Now, contrast this with the energy of desperation. Desperation is loud. It begs, it grasps, it shakes the waters, and so the mirror reflects distortion. You have done this before, have you not? When bills mounted, when opportunities slipped, when someone withdrew their love, you panicked, you scattered, you vibrated chaos. And what came? More chaos. But what if instead you became still? What if instead of rushing into fear, you sat in silence, centered in the throne of your being, declaring inwardly, "I remain. I am steady. I am unmoved." This is not passivity. It is command. For energy aligns with certainty, not with chaos. Even nature obeys this. The tallest mountains do not move, yet rivers bow around them. The sun does not chase planets, yet planets orbit in reverence. Stillness is not weakness, it is dominion. Now let us go deeper. Stillness creates resonance because it signals trust. When you are still, you tell the universe, "I already know the outcome is mine." This vibration draws reality into alignment. Think of a chess master. The beginner rushes, moves frantically, panics at every piece. The master is still, deliberate, unmoved. He sees many moves ahead. Stillness is his advantage. So too in life. The frantic attract more panic. The still attract more power. Let me tell you another story. There was once a woman named Sarah who longed for love. She rushed into relationships, clung desperately, begged to be seen, feared being abandoned, and always her partners left, for they felt the energy of chaos. One day, after heartbreak left her hollow, she sat beneath a tree and whispered, "I am tired of chasing. I will simply be." She breathed. She entered stillness. Day after day, she practiced sitting in silence, feeling her worth without needing another's gaze. Months later, she met a man who saw her differently. He was drawn not to desperation, but to the quiet glow of her stillness. She no longer grasped. She radiated. And because she had mastered her energy, she attracted one who matched it. This is the throne of stillness. And here is the paradox. Stillness is not achieved by force. You cannot strain to be still. You must surrender. You must let go of the need to control, to panic, to demand. You must choose trust. Here is the sacred practice of stillness. Each day, set aside 5 minutes. Sit in silence. No phone, no words. Simply breathe. When thoughts race, do not fight them. Let them pass like clouds. When fear arises, observe it, but do not enter it. Place your awareness in your chest as if sitting on a throne within your heart. Whisper inwardly, I am steady. I am unmoved. I command energy through stillness. Do this daily. Increase the minutes, slowly. In time, storms will come, yet you will not shake. Bills may rise, yet you will not panic. People may leave, yet you will remain. And when you remain, life bows to you. For stillness is not absence of motion, it is mastery of motion. It is the silent throne from which energy obeys. Remember, storms obey the one who does not become them. Sit upon the throne of stillness and watch reality kneel. Chapter 6. The Magnetic Self. Everything in creation is magnetic. The earth itself pulls oceans, pulls moons, pulls bodies into orbit. The sun pulls planets across infinite blackness. Even the smallest atom holds electrons in a dance of attraction. And so it is with you. You are magnetic. You are drawing to yourself every moment. People, events, opportunities, circumstances. Not by chance, but by the field you radiate. Pause here. Feel your chest. Your body is not only flesh and bone, it is a magnet of frequency. Your thoughts, your emotions, your assumptions, these create the polarity of your field, and reality cannot help but be pulled into alignment with it. This is the law of magnetism. What you are, you attract. Not what you say, not what you wish, not even what you pray, if your energy denies it. What you are in vibration becomes what you live in, reflection. You have seen this before. The person who expects rejection seems always to find it. The one who assumes betrayal lives it again and again. The one who knows themselves worthy, truly knows, not in words but in vibration, walks into rooms and doors open for them. It is not coincidence. It is magnetism. Let me tell you a story. There was once a blacksmith named Cale. His forge was strong, his arms powerful, but his life was heavy with struggle. He longed for wealth, yet debt found him. He longed for respect, yet people overlooked him. He longed for love, yet loneliness followed him like shadow. One evening, an old traveler came to his forge. Watching Cale hammer iron, the traveler said, "You strike with strength, but your energy strikes with lack. Your body bends metal, but your vibration bends reality. You want wealth, but you vibrate poverty. You want love, but you radiate loneliness. You want respect, but you broadcast unworthiness. The world is your mirror and your magnet." Cale was stunned. "Then how do I change it?" he asked. The traveler smiled. "Not by force, but by polarity. Become within what you desire without. Radiate wealth before gold appears. Radiate love before a partner arrives. Radiate respect before the world bows. Do this, and like iron to a lodestone, life will be pulled to you." Cale began his experiment. Each day he practiced walking as though he were already wealthy, already loved, already honored. He breathed differently. He carried himself differently. He worked with joy, not desperation. Within months, people noticed. Customers paid more. Friends sought his company. A woman drawn by his light became his beloved. He had not changed the forge. He had changed the magnet. This is the secret. You are not chasing life. You are magnetizing it. Now ask yourself, what do you radiate? Do you radiate abundance or scarcity? Confidence or doubt? Joy or bitterness? The magnet cannot lie. Life responds to what you truly are, not what you pretend to be. Here is where many falter. They confuse words with energy. They say, I am wealthy, while vibrating lack. They say, I am loved, while vibrating fear. They say, I am powerful, while vibrating insecurity. And the magnet obeys the vibration, not the syllables. You cannot trick the universe, but you can align with it. Let us make this practical. Imagine your inner being as a great lodestone, pulling toward you everything of like frequency. If you wish to attract wealth, become magnetic to it. That means embodying sufficiency, joy, trust, even before evidence arrives. If you wish to attract love, become magnetic to it. That means embodying worthiness, tenderness, openness, even when alone. If you wish to attract opportunities, become magnetic to them. That means walking in readiness, certainty, clarity, even before the doors appear. It begins not in words, but in energy posture. Have you ever noticed how the moment you stop chasing, the thing you long for begins to approach? This is magnetism. Desperation repels, but still confidence attracts. The lover who grasps pushes others away. The one who radiates ease becomes irresistible. The worker who begs for recognition is overlooked. The one who stands tall, certain in their value, is promoted without asking. The magnet works silently. It does not struggle. It simply pulls. Let me tell you another story. In a crowded market lived a woman named Amira. She sold herbs and spices, yet hundreds of merchants sold the same. Still, her stall always overflowed with customers. When asked her secret, she laughed. It is not my herbs, it is my energy. I sell abundance, not scarcity. I greet each soul as treasure. I radiate joy, and people are drawn as bees to honey. Her competitors grew envious. They lowered prices, shouted louder, tried to steal her customers, but nothing worked. For magnetism cannot be faked. They projected fear. She radiated light. And so the market flowed to her, as rivers to the sea. This is the law. Life flows to magnetism, not to effort alone. Now, you may ask, how do I change my magnet? The answer is both simple and profound. You must rewire your inner polarity. Every assumption, every belief, every self-concept, these form the charge of your field. Shift them, and you shift the magnet. This is why Neville Goddard taught the power of assumption. He knew that to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled was to change polarity. To dwell in it night after night until the subconscious accepted it was to shift the magnet entirely. And when the magnet shifts, reality obeys. Let us enter the sacred practice of magnetism. Tonight, choose one desire, something you long to draw. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself as a great magnet glowing in your chest. See it pulling toward you, people, events, wealth, opportunities. Feel the joy of them already yours. Let your body radiate the certainty of possession. Whisper within, I am magnetic to this. It is already mine. Fall asleep in this state. Each night, repeat. Each day, walk as though the magnet has already pulled it close. And soon, you will see the outer begin to match the inner. Do not chase. Do not beg. Radiate. Pull. Become the magnet. For this is the truth. You are not running after life. You are life, pulling life into orbit. And when you master magnetism, you cease being the seeker. You become the sun around whom all things revolve. Chapter 7. The Language of Vibration. Before you spoke your first word, you were already communicating, not with syllables, but with vibration. Every thought you think, every feeling you harbor, every belief you carry speaks into the invisible realm. The universe is fluent in this language. It does not listen to your words. It listens to your vibration. This is why a person can recite endless affirmations, yet see no change. Their lips speak one thing, but their vibration declares another. The universe responds to the deeper voice. You may ask, what is vibration truly? It is the frequency of your being, the composite song of your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions. Imagine an instrument. Each string vibrates at a pitch. Your inner world is such an instrument. The notes you play create the field that surrounds you, and life echoes those notes back. When your vibration sings in harmony with abundance, abundance appears. When it hums in scarcity, scarcity multiplies. When it resonates with love, love surrounds you. When it resonates with fear, fear manifests in circumstance. The question, then, is not whether you are vibrating. You always are. The question is, what are you vibrating? Let me tell you a story. There was a merchant named Elias who desired wealth. Each morning he stood before a mirror and declared, I am rich, I am prosperous, I am successful. But though his lips spoke wealth, his heart trembled with fear. He doubted. He secretly whispered, I will never make it. And so, despite his daily affirmations, poverty followed him. One day he encountered a mystic who said, Your words are seeds, but your vibration is the soil. If the soil is barren, the seeds will not grow. You must align the soil to abundance. Elias was puzzled. How do I change the soil? The mystic answered, Feel first, then speak. Align your heart to the state of wealth before your lips declare it. Speak from vibration, not against it. So Elias tried differently. Instead of rushing to affirm, he closed his eyes, breathed deeply, and imagined himself already living in wealth. He felt gratitude, relief, confidence. He let the vibration of sufficiency fill him. Only then did he declare, I am prosperous. And this time, the words were not empty. They carried weight. They carried vibration. And soon, life reflected it. This is the secret. Vibration is the true language of creation. Think of it this way. Words are like paintbrushes, but vibration is the color itself. You may paint with great skill, but if the colors are dull, the picture will lack life. Only when vibration carries the right hue do your words manifest beauty. Now, let us go deeper. Vibration operates on resonance. This means the frequency you radiate seeks and attracts its twin in the external world. Just as a tuning fork vibrates when another of the same pitch is struck, your vibration calls forth matching events, people, and circumstances. This is why patterns repeat. If you have ever wondered why the same disappointments, the same betrayals, the same struggles return, it is not fate, it is resonance. You are vibrating at the same pitch, and reality echoes it. Change the vibration, and the pattern breaks. Consider love. A person who vibrates unworthiness will attract partners who confirm that unworthiness. A person who vibrates worthiness, wholeness, radiance will attract partners who honor and cherish them. The difference is not luck, it is vibration. And here lies the great truth. You cannot hide vibration. You may smile when fearful, but people feel it. You may speak kindly while resenting, but the energy leaks through. The universe cannot be deceived. It speaks vibration fluently. So, how do you change your vibration? Through awareness, through practice, through choice. Awareness means noticing what frequency you radiate right now. Do you feel tense, doubtful, heavy, or do you feel open, calm, alive? Awareness is the mirror that reveals the vibration. Practice means deliberately shifting that vibration. You do this through imagination, gratitude, breath, posture, music, words infused with feeling. Just as a musician tunes an instrument daily, so too must you tune your vibration. Choice means refusing to be enslaved by circumstance. When something unpleasant happens, you may be tempted to sink into anger, fear, despair. But you can choose differently. You can choose to shift the vibration instead of letting it spiral. This is mastery. Let me tell you another story. A woman named Mira lost her job. Her friends pitied her, saying, "This is terrible. How will you survive?" At first, she wept. But then she remembered, vibration governs reality. Instead of dwelling in despair, she began each morning with gratitude for her health, for her skills, for the air in her lungs. She visualized herself in a better job, in abundance, in joy. She raised her vibration deliberately. Within weeks, opportunities appeared. She was offered a position that paid more and aligned with her passion. Her friends marveled, calling it luck, but Mira knew it was vibration. She had spoken the language of abundance, and life responded. This is the power of vibration. It bends probability, rearranges circumstances, calls forth opportunities unseen. Now let us make this practical. Sacred practice of vibration. Each morning before you rise, place your hand upon your heart and ask yourself, what is my vibration right now? Do not judge, simply feel. If it is low, choose to raise it deliberately. Play music that lifts you. Speak words of gratitude. Imagine light flooding your chest. Shift your posture to confidence. Feel the state of your desired outcome as if it were already real. Hold it for 2 minutes. This daily tuning will recalibrate your magnet. Do this, and soon your vibration will shift from default reaction to conscious creation. Remember, the universe listens to vibration, not vocabulary. If you want different results, you must sing a different frequency. And here is the final truth of this chapter. Vibration is prayer. Every thought you dwell in, every feeling you saturate in, every state you embody is a prayer sent into the cosmos. And the cosmos, being faithful, must answer. Chapter 8. The Power of Assumption. The universe does not give you what you beg for. It gives you what you assume. Assumption is not wishful thinking. It is the silent claim, the inner decree, the invisible crown upon your head. It is the posture of being that whispers, "This is who I am. This is what already belongs to me." Most pray for what they do not believe, and so their prayers fall hollow. They affirm what they secretly deny, and so their affirmations echo empty. But assumption, true assumption, reshapes reality. For assumption is vibration solidified, belief crystallized, energy embodied. Pause here. Consider the life you are living now. Every pattern, every circumstance, every repeated storyline, it is the result of assumptions you once made, consciously or unconsciously. Perhaps you assumed life was hard, and so it has been. Perhaps you assumed money was scarce, and so it hid from you. Perhaps you assumed you were unworthy of love, and so partners reflected that back. But here lies the secret. Assumption can be rewritten. The script of your reality is not final. You hold the pen. Let me tell you a story. There was once a scholar named Lorian who studied the laws of manifestation. He fasted, prayed, recited affirmations, yet his life remained stagnant. In despair, he sought out an old hermit who lived in the mountains. The hermit listened and then spoke. "You are like a man who plants seeds but pours poison into the soil each night. You affirm abundance, but you assume scarcity. You pray for love, but you assume rejection. The soil obeys the assumption, not the seed. Tu blind, that it is anatolis faimon in concretud es nam." "How do I change?" Lorian asked. "Change not your words," said the hermit, "but your state. Assume the end as real. Live as though your desire is already done. Feel it, breathe it, walk in it. Do this faithfully, and life must conform." Lorian tried. Each night before sleep, he imagined himself already living in the wealth, the love, and the joy he sought. He felt it real. He assumed it fully. And soon, without effort, doors opened, opportunities appeared, his life transformed, not because he forced it, but because he assumed it. This is the power of assumption. Reality bends to it as iron to magnet. Consider this. A king does not beg for his throne. He assumes it. He does not plead for authority. He wears it. His assumption shapes his posture, his voice, his choices, and the world reflects it. You, too, are such a king. When you assume wealth, you walk differently, you speak differently, you radiate differently, and reality mirrors it. Most, however, live in the assumption of lack. They wake each morning assuming struggle, assuming failure, assuming disappointment, and so faithfully life confirms it. They think this is fate. It is not fate. It is assumption. And assumption can be rewritten in a single moment of choice. Now, let us go deeper. Assumption is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. Thought alone is vapor, but assumed thought clothed in feeling, belief, certainty, becomes form. This is why Neville Goddard declared, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and it is done." It is not about waiting. It is not about hoping. It is about claiming. Let me tell you another story. In a coastal city lived a seamstress named Hannah. She lived in poverty, stitching clothes for pennies, always hungry, always tired. One evening she overheard two wealthy merchants speaking. One said to the other, "I never worry. I assume money is mine, and it always comes." The words struck Hannah like thunder. She realized she had been assuming poverty her whole life. Each day she whispered, "I am poor, I am struggling, I am unlucky." Though she longed for wealth, her assumption chained her. So she tried something different. She began to assume differently. Each morning, though still poor, she walked as if wealthy. She spoke as if provision were hers. She dressed with dignity, even in her simple garments. She imagined her small coins as treasures, her tiny meals as feasts. She assumed abundance. Weeks passed, and little changed outwardly. But then, slowly, things shifted. A wealthy customer noticed her work and commissioned more. Her reputation grew, opportunities multiplied. Within a year, she lived in comfort, surrounded by provision. She had not changed her hands, she had changed her assumption. This is the law. Life obeys assumption. Now, let us bring this home. Ask yourself, what are you assuming right now? Not what you say, not what you hope, but what you truly assume. Do you assume you will always struggle? Do you assume relationships will always fail? Do you assume wealth is for others but not for you? These assumptions are the hidden architects of your reality, and yet you can choose again. Here is the sacred practice of assumption. Each night before sleep, choose one desire. Close your eyes. Imagine it already fulfilled, not far off, but now. If it is wealth, feel yourself already in abundance. If it is love, feel yourself already cherished. If it is health, feel yourself already whole. Saturate in the feeling until it seems real. Whisper inwardly, "This is mine. It is done." Then fall asleep in that state. Do not wake tomorrow and wonder if it worked. Assume it did. Walk in it, speak in it, radiate it. Let your energy wear it like a garment. Do this faithfully, and the unseen must crystallize into the seen. For the universe does not resist assumption, it reflects it. Remember this truth. Life is not responding to your wishes, it is responding to your assumptions. And when you assume differently, life cannot help but obey. Chapter 9. The Kingdom Within. Every kingdom has a throne. Every empire has a capital. Every realm has a center from which laws flow. And so does your life. The kingdom of your reality does not begin outside you. It begins within. For the throne of your destiny is not in governments, markets, or other people's decisions. It sits in the secret chamber of your mind and heart. The kingdom within is the only true source of creation. Pause and hear this. The outer world is not sovereign, it is servant. Your inner world is the ruler. Most people reverse this order. They believe circumstances dictate their state. When the bank account shrinks, they feel fear. When someone withdraws love, they feel unworthy. When opportunity closes, they collapse into despair. They think life governs them, but this is illusion. In truth, their state was sovereign all along. Their inner kingdom created the very conditions they now blame. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young prince named Orion who believed his power rested in the army, the treasury, and the council of nobles. But every year his kingdom declined. Crops failed, wars broke out, wealth vanished. In desperation, he sought an oracle. The oracle led him to a mirror. "This is the true throne," she said. "Not your crown, not your army, not your gold, but your assumption of yourself. As you see within, so your kingdom mirrors without." Orion realized he had always assumed weakness, danger, poverty, and so his kingdom reflected it faithfully. He changed his assumption. He began to see himself as prosperous, wise, invincible. Slowly, his kingdom flourished. Crops returned, wars ceased, wealth multiplied, not because fate shifted, but because the king within shifted. This is the law. The outer kingdom bends to the throne within. Now, consider yourself. What kingdom do you rule? Is it a realm of scarcity, where fear governs every choice? Is it a realm of despair, where unworthiness chains every relationship? Or is it a realm of abundance, where confidence, trust, and joy decree laws of prosperity? Look around your life. Whatever you see is your inner kingdom reflected. The sages of old knew this. That is why Scripture says, "The kingdom of God is within you." The Hermetic law echoes, "As within, so without." Modern mystics affirm your inner state is the cause, your outer world the effect. And yet, many live as slaves to their own reflection. They see lack outside, so they feel lack inside. They see rejection outside, so they feel rejection inside. They forget the mirror only reflects. If you do not like the reflection, do not strike the glass. Change the face you show it. The kingdom within is the place of true sovereignty. When you assume abundance inwardly, the outer must obey. When you assume love inwardly, the outer must reflect it. When you assume health inwardly, the body must align. But how do you enter this inner throne? By mastering state. State is the seat of power. It is the atmosphere of your inner kingdom. You can live in a state of lack, a state of fear, a state of defeat. Or you can enthrone yourself in the state of abundance, love, and mastery. Whichever throne you sit upon inwardly, that is the law that governs your outer life. Let me tell you another story. A man named Ezra lived his days muttering, "Nothing ever works out for me." This was his throne, and so, no matter what job he found, what partner he loved, what chance he took, the kingdom mirrored failure. One day, in despair, he met a mystic who said, "Change the decree, assume differently." Ezra laughed bitterly. "How can I assume what I do not see?" The mystic replied, "Do you not first assume the sun will rise before dawn? You trust its return before the sky brightens. Do the same with your life. Assume the state before the evidence." Ezra tried. Each night he assumed abundance. Each morning he assumed worthiness. Slowly he enthroned a new state within, and the kingdom without obeyed. Opportunities appeared. Relationships healed. Wealth multiplied. Not because fate favored him, but because he changed the throne he sat upon. This is the hidden law. Your inner kingdom commands the outer. And here is the paradox. When you realize this, you cease blaming others. You stop chasing circumstance. You become sovereign. Now, let us make this practical. The sacred practice of the inner kingdom. Each day, before you rise, close your eyes and imagine yourself seated upon a throne within your chest. See it glowing with light. From this throne, decree the state you choose. Whisper, "In my kingdom there is abundance. In my kingdom there is love. In my kingdom there is peace. In my kingdom I reign with certainty." Feel it, own it. Walk through the day as sovereign of that inner realm. Do not bow to outer circumstances. Command them with inner assumption, for the truth is unshakable. Your reality is not governed by chance. It is governed by the throne you sit upon within. And when you enthrone abundance, life becomes abundant. When you enthrone worthiness, love surrounds you. When you enthrone mastery, reality bends. Remember, the kingdom of your life begins and ends in the kingdom within. Claim the throne, and the empire of your reality will obey. Chapter 10. The Current of Belief. Belief is the river that carries energy into form. Every action, every manifestation, every destiny you live arises not from chance, but from the hidden current of what you believe. Most people think belief is passive, something inherited, something fixed, something unconscious. But belief is the architect of your world. It is the sculptor chiseling every detail of your experience. It is the current beneath the boat of your life, steering its direction whether you notice or not. Pause here. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe? Not what you claim, not what you recite, but what your life reveals. For your reality is always honest. It shows you the shape of your deepest beliefs. If you believe money is scarce, your life will confirm it. If you believe people cannot be trusted, your relationships will echo it. If you believe you are unworthy, your circumstances will reflect it. But if you believe in abundance, trust, and worthiness, life cannot resist mirroring them. Belief is the hidden law. It writes the script before the scene is acted. Let me tell you a story. There was once a healer named Mira who lived in a small village. People came to her for remedies, but she noticed something strange. When she gave her herbs to those who believed in her, they healed quickly. When she gave the same herbs to those who doubted, they saw little change. At first she thought the herbs were inconsistent, but then she realized it was not the herbs, it was belief. The body obeyed the belief more than the medicine. She began to speak differently. To every patient, she declared, "This remedy will heal you." She infused them with certainty. And soon, even the weakest remedies worked wonders, for she had aligned their belief with their outcome. The power was not in the leaves, it was in the current of belief flowing through them. Now think of your own life. How many times have you sabotaged yourself, not by action, but by disbelief? You desired wealth, but doubted it. You longed for love, but distrusted it. You prayed for healing, but secretly assumed it was impossible, and so life, faithful to belief, reflected your doubt. This is why belief matters more than effort. A person may work endlessly, but if they disbelieve in success, their labor produces little. Another may work lightly, but if they believe in abundance, doors open easily. Belief carries the energy into alignment. Consider the world of inventions. Before the airplane flew, someone believed flight was possible. Before electricity lit the night, someone believed the current could be harnessed. Before ships crossed oceans, someone believed the horizon was not the end. Belief carved the path, reality followed. But here lies the danger. Disbelief also manifests. If you believe only in struggle, struggle persists. If you believe in betrayal, betrayal comes. The current of belief does not discriminate between hope and fear. It carries whatever you feed it. So the true question is not whether belief shapes reality. It always does. The question is, are you shaping belief consciously, or is belief shaping you unconsciously? Let me tell you another story. A man named Elias longed for success. He studied, he worked, he sacrificed, yet failure followed him. One evening, an elder asked him, "What do you believe about yourself?" Elias sighed. "I believe I was born unlucky." The elder smiled sadly. "Then unlucky you remain, for your belief is the throne, and your life its loyal servant. Change the throne, and the servant obeys differently." Elias resisted. "But how can I believe what I do not see?" The elder replied, "Do you not believe the sun will rise before it appears? Do you not believe in air, though you cannot see it? Belief does not wait for proof, it creates proof." Elias began to practice. Each day he replaced his old assumption with a new one. "I am fortunate. Life bends in my favor." At first it felt false, but he persisted. He rehearsed it. He imagined it. He assumed it. Weeks later, opportunities began to appear. Failures reversed. Success grew, not because chance changed, but because his belief shifted and the river carried him to new shores. This is the sacred key. Belief precedes evidence. Evidence does not create belief. The world tells you, "I will believe it when I see it." But the mystic knows, "I will see it when I believe it." Now let us go deeper. Belief is not only mental, it is embodied. It lives in posture, in voice, in the way you carry yourself. A person who believes in their worth walks differently, speaks differently, radiates differently. The world responds to this energy without question. Have you ever seen someone who lacked skill yet succeeded simply because they believed? Have you ever seen someone with talent fail simply because they doubted? This is the current of belief in action. And so the practice becomes this. Choose your beliefs consciously. Sculpt them as an artist sculpts marble. Do not let old stories, inherited fears, or cultural lies shape them for you. Take the chisel in your own hands. Here is the sacred practice of belief. Tonight, write down one belief that has governed you negatively. Perhaps it is, I am unlucky, or money is hard, or love always ends. Acknowledge it, see it clearly. Then beneath it, write a new decree. I am favored, money flows easily, love surrounds me faithfully. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Imagine this new belief as a river flowing from your chest, sweeping you forward into new landscapes. Repeat it until it no longer feels like words, but like truth. Fall asleep in it, awaken in it, live in it. Do this daily. Over time, the old belief dissolves. The new belief becomes natural, and life, faithful to its law, reshapes to match. For belief is not suggestion, it is command. It is the river that carries your energy to the sea of manifestation. Remember, the world does not argue with your beliefs, it obeys them. Choose wisely, and the current will carry you where once you feared to go. Chapter 11. The Law of Alignment. Energy does not respond to words alone. It responds to alignment. Alignment is when your thoughts, emotions, and actions sing the same note. It is when your inner and outer world move in harmony. When alignment is present, manifestation is inevitable. When alignment is broken, struggle is endless. Most people live fragmented. They think one thing, feel another, and act in another. They say, I am abundant, while feeling lack and acting in fear. They say, I am loved, while feeling unworthy and clinging desperately. They say, I am healthy, while assuming illness and treating their body carelessly. The universe cannot respond to contradiction. It mirrors alignment, not confusion. Pause here. Consider yourself. Are you aligned? Does your inner state match your outer choices, or are you living in fragments, hoping for abundance while embodying scarcity? Alignment is the tuning of the instrument of your being. Just as an orchestra sounds disharmony when instruments are out of tune, your life sounds chaotic when your mind, heart, and actions play different notes. But when they align, the symphony is irresistible. Let me tell you a story. There was once a builder named Jalen who dreamed of constructing a temple of light. He designed it carefully, spoke of it passionately, but year after year, the temple never rose. He blamed fate, resources, even the gods. One night, a wise traveler asked, "What do you truly believe?" Jalen admitted, "I believe it is impossible. I believe I am unworthy to build it. I believe I will fail." The traveler nodded. And so your heart feels despair, and your hands never move. Your dream remains words. You are misaligned. Align belief, feeling, and action, and the temple will rise. Jalen was humbled. He began to shift. Each morning, he affirmed his worth. He felt the joy of the temple already standing. He took small actions each day. Guided by that alignment, months turned to years, but the temple rose, shining across the land. The difference was not luck, it was alignment. This is the law. When you are aligned inwardly and outwardly, creation obeys without resistance. Now, let us go deeper. Alignment is not about perfection, it is about coherence. You may falter in thought, but if your overall state vibrates consistently, the universe responds. It is not every stray idea that manifests, but the dominant alignment of your being. Have you noticed how some people succeed with little effort? It is because they are aligned. Their thoughts affirm it, their emotions feel it, their actions express it. Life responds swiftly. Others strive endlessly, but their misalignment blocks them. They want wealth, but feel lack. They want health, but believe in illness. They want love, but fear abandonment. This discord delays manifestation. The key, then, is to bring your being into harmony. Align your inner state with the reality you desire. Live as though it were already true. Let me tell you another story. A woman named Celine longed for love. She spoke constantly of her desire for a partner. She prayed, she affirmed, she visualized. Yet every relationship ended in disappointment. One day a mentor said, "Your words say love, but your energy says fear. You act desperate. You assume rejection. You cling. You are misaligned. Love cannot dwell in this vibration." Celine wept, but she understood. She stopped begging for love and began aligning with it. She assumed worthiness. She felt cherished even when alone. She treated herself with kindness, dressed with dignity, walked with confidence. Soon a partner arrived who matched her alignment, not because she hunted for him, but because her vibration called him. This is the power of alignment. It magnetizes without strain. So, how do you create alignment? Through 3 steps: awareness, rehearsal, and embodiment. Awareness means noticing the contradictions within. Do you think abundance but feel fear? Do you affirm love but embody doubt? Awareness reveals the fragments. Rehearsal means practicing the state you desire until it feels natural. Each day, imagine yourself living the reality you seek. Feel it, breathe it, walk in it. This rehearsal aligns thought and feeling. Embodiment means acting as if it were already true. Spend, speak, and move in alignment with abundance. Treat yourself in alignment with love. Care for your body in alignment with health. Actions complete. The circuit of alignment. When these 3 unite, energy flows without resistance. Let me give you an image. Imagine a great river dammed by rocks. Each rock is a contradiction, a thought of abundance, but a feeling of lack, a prayer of love, but an action of fear. Remove the rocks, align thought, feeling, and action, and the river rushes freely. This is manifestation. Here is the sacred practice of alignment. Tonight, choose one area of your life you wish to transform. Write down your current thought, your current feeling, and your current action in this area. Notice the misalignment. Then, rewrite them into harmony. For example, thought, "I am abundant." Feeling, joy, relief, gratitude, as if money already flows. Action, spending with trust, giving with ease, moving with confidence. Do the same for love, for health, for purpose. Align all 3. Then, each day, live this alignment. Feel it when you wake, act it when you move, speak it when you interact. Slowly, the fragments dissolve, your being becomes coherent, and when you are coherent, the universe obeys swiftly. For energy flows where there is no resistance. Remember this: misalignment delays, but alignment accelerates. Do not blame circumstances. Do not curse fate. Look within and ask, am I aligned? Do my thoughts, feelings, and actions sing the same song? When they do, the world becomes orchestra, playing the melody you conduct. Chapter 12. The Echo of Imagination. Everything you see around you was once invisible. Every building, every invention, every movement of civilization began first in the unseen chamber of imagination. Imagination is not fantasy. It is blueprint. It is the architect's draft, the composer's score, the script before the play. What you imagine consistently, vividly, emotionally, must one day crystallize into form, for imagination is the womb of creation. Yet most people misuse it. They imagine fears. They replay worst-case scenarios. They dwell on disappointments, rehearse betrayals, magnify lack, and then they wonder why their life echoes the same. Imagination is not idle. It is law. It sends signals into the field of energy, shaping vibrations, sculpting outcomes. To imagine poverty is to summon it. To imagine rejection is to magnetize it. To imagine abundance, love, success is to align with their frequency. Pause here. Ask yourself, what do I imagine most often? Do you envision prosperity or scarcity? Do you picture love or abandonment? Do you see yourself succeeding or failing? These images are seeds, and the subconscious is fertile soil. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young painter named Leora. She lived in a cramped apartment, barely able to afford food. Yet each night she sat in silence and imagined herself in a grand gallery. She saw her paintings upon the walls, crowds admiring her work, critics praising her vision. She felt the joy, the pride, the gratitude as though it were already real. Months passed with no change. Friends mocked her, calling her delusional, but she persisted. Night after night, she rehearsed the scene until it felt natural, inevitable. 1 year later, a collector discovered her art, and soon she was invited to a gallery, the very one she had seen in her mind. The paintings hung exactly as she had imagined. What was this? Magic? Chance? No. It was the law of imagination. For the world is an echo, and imagination is the voice. Consider the child who fears monsters in the dark. Their imagination creates such vivid terror that their body reacts with trembling, their heart races, their breath shortens. The monsters are not real, yet the body obeys imagination as though they were. So too with your life. Your subconscious cannot tell the difference between vividly imagined and physically lived. Whatever you rehearse within becomes the command it must manifest without. This is why great mystics declared, imagination is God in action. Now, let us go deeper. Imagination is not idle daydreaming. It is deliberate creation. It requires 3 elements: clarity, emotion, and persistence. Clarity means seeing the scene as vividly as possible. If you desire wealth, do not vaguely imagine money someday. Picture yourself holding the check, depositing the coins, celebrating the harvest. Make it specific. Emotion means feeling the reality of it. Cold images do little. But when you feel the joy, the gratitude, the certainty, the vibration deepens and the subconscious accepts it. Persistence means dwelling in the image until it becomes natural. Not once, not twice, but daily, nightly, until your mind carries it as easily as memory. This is how imagination reshapes destiny. Let me tell you another story. A man named Rami dreamed of traveling the world, but his pockets were empty. Each night he closed his eyes and imagined walking through foreign streets, tasting exotic foods, hearing new languages. He smelled the scents, felt the cobblestones, lived it in imagination until it was real to him. Months later, a friend invited him on a trip, offering to cover expenses. That single journey opened opportunities for work abroad. Within years, Rami was traveling across continents. He had lived it in imagination until reality had no choice but to follow. This is the echo. The world must mirror the images you dwell upon. But here lies the danger. Imagination can enslave as well as liberate. If you constantly replay failure, if you rehearse rejection, if you envision scarcity, the echo will obey. This is why fear manifests so easily, because fear is vivid imagination infused with emotion. So the task of mastery is to reclaim imagination, to use it deliberately as the instrument of creation. Now, let us make this practical, the sacred practice of imagination. Tonight, choose one desire. Close your eyes. Create a simple scene that implies its fulfillment. If it is wealth, imagine handing money to someone you love. If it is love, imagine holding hands, feeling cherished. If it is health, imagine running freely, vibrant and strong. Do not force the how. Focus only on the end scene, clear and vivid. Then, step into the scene. Do not watch it like a movie. Enter it. Feel the textures, hear the sounds, breathe the air. Most importantly, feel the emotions of it as though it is already true. Let gratitude, joy, and certainty fill you. Repeat this nightly, especially before sleep, when the subconscious is most receptive. Fall asleep in the feeling. Let the image soak into the soil of your being. Persist. Night after night, do not look outward for confirmation. Let the inner become so real that the outer must obey. For imagination is not escape, it is command. It is the throne from which energy is sculpted into form. Remember this truth. Life is not waiting to decide for you, it is waiting to echo you. And what you imagine most vividly, most emotionally, most persistently, becomes the decree it mirrors. So ask yourself daily, what echo am I creating? What images am I feeding into the womb of reality? For whatever you dwell upon within must one day walk before you without. Chapter 13. The Rhythm of Surrender. There is a rhythm to creation, as certain as the tides, as ancient as the stars. It is the rhythm of surrender. Surrender is not defeat. It is not passivity. It is not giving up. True surrender is alignment with the current of life. It is the wisdom of knowing when to act and when to release, when to plant and when to let the soil rest, when to hold and when to open the hand. Most people live in resistance. They grasp, they force, they strain, they fight the river. And so they exhaust themselves, swimming against currents that would have carried them with ease. Surrender is the opposite. It is floating upon the river, trusting its bends, knowing that it flows exactly where it must. Pause here. Feel your body. Where do you resist? Where do you cling? Where do you fear letting go? That very tension is the dam holding back your flow. Surrender is not inaction. It is chosen trust. It is releasing the illusion of control while standing firmly in alignment. It is saying, I have planted, I have aligned. Now I release, and I let life deliver. Let me tell you a story. There was once a fisherman named Darren who cast his nets daily. But every morning he grew anxious. He pulled the nets too quickly, checked them too often, panicked at every empty haul. Day after day he returned with little, for the fish scattered at his frantic energy. One evening an elder watched and said, "You are drowning the sea with your worry. Cast your net, then trust." The ocean does not reward desperation, it rewards surrender. The next morning, Darren tried differently. He cast his net calmly, then sat in stillness, watching the horizon, trusting the tide. Hours later, he pulled his net heavy with fish. The sea had delivered when he stopped demanding. This is the rhythm of surrender. Now consider yourself. How many times have you sabotaged manifestation by grasping? You prayed, you imagined, you affirmed, but then you doubted, panicked, checked constantly. You vibrated fear more than faith. The energy scattered, the blessing delayed. But when you surrender, when you release the how, the when, the constant checking, you create the space for energy to move. You allow the unseen to arrange itself. You open the door for miracles to enter quietly. This is why surrender is the companion of assumption. Assumption says, "It is done." Surrender says, "I will not interfere with its unfolding." Together, they form the perfect rhythm. Now, let us go deeper. Surrender is not weakness, it is mastery. A master swordsman does not force every movement. He flows with the opponent, bends with the strike, trusts the rhythm. A dancer does not control the music. She yields to it, letting it move her body. A mystic does not demand the universe. He aligns with it, trusting its timing. Life is music. To resist is to stumble. To surrender is to dance. Let me tell you another story. In a distant city lived a merchant named Cairo. He desired wealth and worked endlessly, plotting, scheming, manipulating every deal. Yet fortune eluded him. One evening, exhausted, he collapsed, whispering, "I give up." But in that giving up, something shifted. He released the tension. He stopped chasing. He simply trusted. And in that trust, unexpected opportunities came. Partnerships, gifts, profits. He discovered that what striving could not force, surrender allowed. This is the paradox. Sometimes the moment you stop grasping is the moment it arrives. Surrender does not mean doing nothing. It means doing your part, then releasing the rest. Plant the seed, but do not dig it up each day to check its roots. Speak the prayer, then live as though it is answered. Take the inspired action, then let the unseen align the details. Now, let us make this practical. The sacred practice of surrender. Each night, after imagining your desire fulfilled, whisper, "It is done." I release it. I trust the flow. Then, breathe deeply and let it go. Do not wake tomorrow and doubt. Do not constantly check for evidence. Live as though it is already yours. If fear arises, return to the breath. Place your hand upon your chest and say, "I surrender the how, I surrender the when." The universe knows the path better than I. Do this daily. Soon, surrender will become natural, not forced. You will walk in trust, not tension. And in that trust, energy flows freely. Here is another daily ritual. Whenever you feel anxious about a desire, imagine placing it into a river of light. See the current carrying it downstream, away from you, into the great sea of the universe. Whisper, "It flows, it grows, it returns to me multiplied." This is surrender, not loss, but release. Not defeat, but faith. Not passivity, but alignment. Remember this truth. What you grasp too tightly slips away. What you release in trust returns multiplied. The rhythm of surrender is the rhythm of creation itself. Breath in, breath out. Tides rise, tides fall. Day gives to night, night to day. All of life is surrender in motion. Chapter 14. The Crown of Mastery. Every path has a summit. Every journey has a peak where the view changes forever. In the path of energy, that peak is mastery. Mastery is not about controlling the universe like a tyrant. It is about aligning with it so completely that your inner and outer worlds move as one. It is about walking as a being of certainty, knowing that what you decree within will echo without unfailingly. Pause and breathe this in. Mastery is not in effort. It is not in striving harder, chanting longer, or demanding louder. Mastery is in alignment, assumption, surrender, stillness, magnetism, all woven together into a seamless state of being. When you wear this crown, you no longer chase, you no longer beg, you no longer live as a seeker, you live as a creator. Think of the Sunday. It does not argue with darkness. It does not strain to shine. It simply radiates, and all things align around it. This is mastery, radiance without struggle. Let me tell you a story. There was once a sage named Amiel who lived high in the mountains. People traveled from distant lands to seek his wisdom. Some asked for wealth, others for love, others for healing. To each, he gave the same teaching: master your energy, and life will serve you. One young man grew frustrated. "That is too simple," he said. "Surely there must be rituals, secrets, hidden codes." Amiel smiled. "Do you not see? The code is within you. Your vibration is the lock and the key. You are the alchemist, the temple, the scripture. Master your energy, and you master all." The young man left, unconvinced. Yet years later, after exhausting himself with rituals and striving, he returned, broken. This time, he listened. He practiced stillness. He assumed abundance. He surrendered. He aligned. Slowly, his life transformed, and he realized the sage had spoken truth all along. This is the crown of mastery, the realization that everything you seek begins and ends within. Now consider your own life. Have you been seeking outside? Have you been chasing signs, rituals, promises from others? The truth is this: you already carry the crown. The only question is whether you wear it. Mastery is not about perfection. You will still feel fear, still encounter obstacles, still walk through storms. But mastery means you remain unmoved. You know storms pass, but your throne remains. You know fear is only a shadow, powerless against the light you radiate. Here is the essence. The master does not react. The master creates. Think of a mirror. The untrained soul looks at it and reacts, scowling if the reflection is dark, smiling if it is bright. The master knows the mirror is neutral. If the reflection displeases, he changes his posture. He shifts the energy, knowing the mirror must follow. This is mastery. No longer blaming the mirror, but commanding the reflection. Let me tell you another story. A queen once ruled a prosperous land. But enemies gathered, storms threatened, famine loomed. Her people panicked, yet the queen remained calm. "We will endure," she declared. "Our kingdom will thrive." Her advisors protested, "But the signs are against us. The skies darken, the armies advance." The queen smiled. "The signs do not rule us. The throne within me rules. As I decree, so shall it be." He's a not for friend. Altent id me animanes. Her certainty became the energy of the entire kingdom. Soldiers fought with renewed courage, farmers sowed with hope, merchants traded with trust. And soon the storms passed, the enemies retreated, the harvest returned. The queen knew what most forget. Energy is sovereign, and mastery is the crown. Now, let us go deeper. The crown of mastery rests upon 5 jewels: awareness, alignment, assumption, surrender, and radiance. Awareness is seeing your energy clearly, without denial. Alignment is bringing thought, feeling, and action into harmony. Assumption is claiming the end as already yours. Surrender is releasing the how and when. Radiance is the natural glow that follows when you embody all of these. When these 5 jewels shine together, the crown rests firmly. And what happens then? Life bends, money flows, love surrounds, health blossoms, opportunities multiply. Not because you force them, but because mastery commands them. Here is the sacred practice of the crown. Tonight, close your eyes and imagine yourself upon a throne of light within your heart. Upon your head rests a crown, radiant, golden, jeweled with the 5 truths. Whisper aloud, I am master of my energy. My inner world commands my outer. I decree abundance, and it is so. I decree love, and it is so. I decree health, and it is so. I decree success, and it is so. Feel the certainty. Wear the crown. Walk tomorrow as though it is visible to all. Let your posture, your voice, your choices carry the authority of one who knows reality bends. And when fear comes, when doubt whispers, when storms rise, touch your crown inwardly and remember, you are sovereign. You are not a servant of circumstance. You are the master of energy. Remember this truth. Mastery is not far. It is now. It is a choice, a posture, an assumption. You already wear the crown. Step into it. For this is the culmination. Energy does not resist mastery. It bows to it. Conclusion. The eternal flame. From the first breath of this journey, you have been reminded of what you already knew deep within. Energy is the hidden law, the silent architect, the invisible master of all creation. You have walked with me through the sacred chambers, the mirror of energy, the frequency of wealth, the law of circulation, the throne of stillness, the magnetic self, the language of vibration, the power of assumption, the kingdom within, the current of belief, the law of alignment, the echo of imagination, the field of receiving, the rhythm of surrender, and the crown of mastery. Each teaching was not merely word, but transmission, not description, but initiation. For these truths are not concepts, they are living laws, waiting for you to embody them. And now, here you stand at the threshold, holding the eternal flame. Pause and imagine it. A flame glowing in your chest, eternal, untouchable, unshaken by wind or storm. This flame is your energy, your essence, your mastery. It cannot be extinguished, for it is not borrowed from the world. It is born of the infinite source within you. When you walk in awareness, the flame grows brighter. When you align thought, feeling, and action, it burns steadier. When you assume the wish fulfilled, it radiates outward. When you surrender, it dances freely. When you wear the crown of mastery, it illuminates the path for others. This flame is your sovereignty. Now, imagine looking back upon your old self, the one who begged, who doubted, who feared, who lived as a servant of circumstance. See them standing in the shadows, waiting for permission, chained by false beliefs. Smile gently, for you have outgrown them. You have reclaimed your crown. The time of waiting is over. The time of chasing is over. The time of asking is over. Now begins the time of being. You do not have to wonder if you are chosen. You are. You do not have to wonder if abundance will find you. It already has. You do not have to wonder if you are worthy. Worthiness is your birthright. Feel this truth. Let it flood your chest. Let it rise in your voice. Let it radiate into every corner of your being. I am master of my energy. Therefore, I am master of my reality. This is not arrogance. It is remembrance. You are not a beggar before the universe. You are a son, a daughter, an emanation of it. The stars do not doubt their place in the sky. The rivers do not question their right to flow. The sun does not apologize for shining. Neither should you. Walk forward now with certainty. Speak your decrees with authority. Hold your state with steadiness. Trust the rhythm of surrender. Live aligned. Assume the crown. For all that was hidden is revealed. Your energy writes the script, and the universe performs it faithfully. Remember the stories you have heard. The farmer, the merchant, the tailor, the queen, the sage. They were not different from you. They were reflections of you. Their transformation is your transformation. Their mastery is your mastery. And so, as this journey closes, your true journey begins. Do not let these words remain as echoes. Let them become your daily posture, your inner decree, your living frequency. When doubt whispers, return to stillness. When fear rises, touch your crown. When scarcity tempts, breathe in abundance. When the mirror reflects shadows, change the light within. You are not bound by fate. You are bound only by vibration, and vibration is yours to command. Let the eternal flame remind you always, you are master of your energy, and when you master your energy, you master life. If this journey has awakened something within you, let the flame move outward. Share your resonance with others. Like this video, so more seekers may find it. Comment below, sharing where you are listening from, for this is not a marketplace of words, it is a circle of light. Subscribe so you may continue to walk with us through more teachings, more transmissions, more sacred awakenings. Together, we are not just listeners, we are creators, not just dreamers, masters. The flame is yours now. Carry it into the world.